my channel. I have a special guest with me here today. This is my husband, this is Jitesh.
Hello everyone.
Welcome. We kind of realized when I had filmed my whole IVF video that he wasn't really in the video. I just wanted to give him an opportunity to kind of like share his feelings about our whole infertility journey and how we've had to do 2 rounds of IVF and all of that, and just give his perspective as the male partner. I think we see a lot on social media of women sharing their journeys and being vocal about it, but we don't really get to hear from the husbands who are dealing with the same thing. I posted on Instagram to do a Q&A with him, and so people submitted some questions, so we're just gonna go over those.
And just so you know, I wanted to do this. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Just because I'm not in the videos, that's not my thing. And most people who know me know I'm a more behind the scenes kind of person. I'm actually at every single
appointment.
Everything.
He's sitting right behind the camera when I'm doing my shots. Like, he's always right there.
I'm there. It's just she's the highlight in terms of, you know, showing her life.
I'm more on social media than he is.
That doesn't mean I don't have feelings. That's kind of eliminated me from people asking me how I'm doing. They ask me how's Kaitlin doing, and I'm like, well, I'm also a part of it. Like, it's like, it must be way harder. I mean, it must be so hard for her. It is hard for her, but I'm a part of it too. And especially for those males out there who are supporting their wives or partners, it's huge. Like, you guys are doing such a great job, and it is a behind the scenes job. It is an unsung hero type of thing. Not just a woman dealing with infertility, men deal with it too. We have to be strong and a rock.
First question, how are you coping with disappointment? Oh, backtrack. Before we answer any questions, actually, we should introduce ourselves, because we have some new followers and all that. This is Jadeja. He's my husband. He's 31 years old. My name's Kaitlin, and I'm 27. We've been on this infertility journey for about 4 years, or trying to conceive for 4 years. We miscarried in 2017, got some testing done and everything, found out about our infertility issues, and we did IVF in 2018, which failed. I had like diminished ovarian reserve at the time. We found out my fallopian tubes are blocked. There was some male factor infertility in the beginning, but he started taking supplements, so that's not an issue anymore. And then we just recently did IVF, which was my last video, if you saw that, and that was our 2nd round, which failed. So now we're here. So how are you coping with disappointment?
Coping with it is more so to be the strength for Kaitlin, for my wife, because everybody handles disappointment. It's the same for everybody. It sucks. If I am just as disappointed as you are, then we both are gonna go down like a down spiral and then not be able to come back from it. You need somebody to bring some positive, and I don't say everything's gonna be fine. I just don't get discouraged by the disappointment. If this is still something we want and we want to strive for, and we have an option to do it, we shouldn't be disappointed then, because
we have the chance to keep fighting.
There's a chance. There's a hope. For us, we just want to give it a shot. Any chance we get is a blessing, and we want to take it as a blessing, and we want to keep moving forward with it, thanking God that we had the opportunity to do it.
Absolutely. And I think for me, obviously I'm a little bit more emotional than he is, and I'm also dealing with injecting myself with a million hormones. I just took the time when we got news that our last cycle had failed, or that things were not going the way we wanted it to. I let myself feel those feelings. I cried about it that day, and I was upset. I kind of like let it go the next day, and I think I'm doing better with that this time than I even was like our last cycle. I kind of like let myself drown in my emotions a little bit, but like you said, we still have hope, so I don't want to just like throw in the towel and completely lose my mind.
We are ready for it in terms of understanding that each step is something we should be thankful for, that we even have the option to do it.
And the point is, we're doing all we can. Okay, next question. What will you be doing differently this time that you might not have done last time?
Differently this time is to improve our health even more so. On paper, our health is perfect.
Perfectly fine.
Perfect, like literally in every area possible, which we've gone over a million times, because that's all you hear when in this process
to our doctor and
is your health. If you're getting sick, your immunity, your levels, they
check everything,
dissect you. That is perfect, honestly, and our doctor just said that a week ago. What can we do more than that? So the next thing is, hey, maybe we can eat better. We can incorporate more exercise into our lifestyle. We've been eating cleaner this week. Tried to eat more greens, veggies, and
we try to incorporate, like, he was looking up fertility superfoods, so like avocados and kale and spinach and stuff like that. And then of course I'm implementing some new vitamins and stuff, which was in my last video too, so if you guys want to know what those are, you can look at the last video. That's kind of the changes that we've been making so far.
We've been eating egg quality, boost your egg quality. So I told Kaitlin, man, my eggs are gonna be amazing by the end of this because I'm eating all the same egg quality boosting food.
What do you do to cope with the feeling of hopelessness? I feel like we kind of already addressed that. We don't really feel hopeless at this point. Maybe we'll get there one day, but we're not there yet.
And we've had moments of it. So let's be real about that. It's not that, wow, we've had many moments of that. When the news comes,
you're hopeless.
You're hopeless. It literally kills you inside and you mourn every step. And it's not just the overall step of IVF not working. It's like when you hear embryos not growing or that you only got 7 of them. Like those are, they kill you every time. Yeah. And not that it's the embryo itself, it's the hope that you had of a future.
How much was your baseline IVF price? My insurance won't cover. We wouldn't know that. We have been so blessed and so fortunate that initially his health insurance that we're on covered our entire first round of IVF. I think we put in like $1,500 max, which was such a blessing. Our entire round that time was like $16,000, and that's not including medication. So we were very, very fortunate. And then the second round, I signed up for a new insurance that covered, again, majority. I think out of pocket, you have to meet your deductible. Just to meet that. So it was like, I think I've paid, and including medication was like $2,500 total, which again is nothing in the realm of what IVF costs.
Right.
I can't really tell you.
And if you need that insurance information, we're happy to share it.
It also depends on the state you live in, though.
That's
because I think there's only like 15 states in the US that require your insurance to cover a portion of IVF. And we live in Maryland, so we got that coverage. And you know, if you have any questions or anything, you can comment down below, message me on Instagram, whatever, and I'd be happy to give you at least any information that we know. We don't know everything, but whatever we do know. Okay, this is for you. How does Jitesh personally feel about this journey?
The journey has just been, it's been mind-opening, I guess. That's a word? Yeah. Eye-opening and mind. It's mind-opening. I never knew this world existed, to be honest. I don't think you want to be in the club that you're in.
No way.
You kind of get
elected. You get thrown in.
I was going to say elected, but that's way better.
You get tossed in there.
You get tossed in there and you're like a part of this club. And you don't know you're a part of a club unless you talk about it. So if we were to be quiet, it definitely would have been harder for us to deal with this. I don't even know if we'd be where we are today without opening up. I commend Kaitlin for that all the time because she shares. Honestly, if it's helping other people, it's not a lot. She says, I feel like I'm sharing and it's helping me, but it's also helping other people. Then I tell her, then keep doing it. For me, this has been opening to a wonderful community I never knew existed. You know, and that's the positive. For me, I try to be positive about stuff, not just the negative side of it. But did I ever imagine this in my life? Never. I never thought this would be a journey. I never knew what an absolute miracle it is when you do have a child. And so for all of you out there,
it's just like that, you have sex, you get pregnant. Easy.
Yeah, it is the everyday, ordinary miracle. And so if you do have children, please be thankful for even one.
Hug them tight every day.
Be thankful because
it is a miracle.
It is a miracle. Even get to the point that you can see them every day and they're functioning. We're just trying to get to the first stages of that.
Of just conceiving.
An embryo. You know, like that's where we're at.
Which people who get pregnant naturally don't even think about embryos. Like that's not even a thought you have.
Yeah. It's been mind-opening, eye-opening, whatever it is for me. Would I change anything in the journey? No. I always tell Kaitlin that all the time. God has put us on this journey for a reason, that we were able to learn and meet other great people and share with Kaitlin. I always tell her that if it's just me and her at the end of this, I'm always thankful. I wouldn't change anything about it because I know God has a plan.
Regardless of having children, I had a friend tell me, even if it's not in the plan to have children, everyone's praying that we do, and I totally appreciate that. But even if it's not in our plan, Jitesh and I are still a family. It doesn't take away from the fact that me and him are married and that we've created a family unit together. Even if that doesn't involve children, it doesn't take away from what we have. And I really appreciated hearing that because you always think if there's not children involved, it's not technically a family. But Jitesh and I, we're a family. Yeah. We're together, we live together and support one another, encourage each other, love each other. That's a family, and we are a family regardless of if we have children or not. Anyway, I always appreciated that she said that to me. It's kind of stuck with me. Are you guys going to try a third time? Yes. If you're following us on Instagram, you know that we are planning to try again around like June or July timeframe, and our doctor is going to change our protocol to what's called a microdose Lupron protocol. I had never heard of it before, but I guess it's that you take Lupron injections prior to taking your stims. So if anybody has any insight on that, feel free to share with me, because I don't really know a lot about it, but I think in some cases it can help with the egg quality issue.
From a man's point of view, that's just wow. So
what?
Yeah, because like Kaitlin knows all these injection names and all that stuff, and just being honest with you, I straight up asked our doctor, that's cool. Why? How is that different? And what is the end result going to be different? I'm straight up every time. She said, that's a really good question. And she said, we're changing up the protocol because we're just changing. We're doing something different. There's not some crazy explanation as to why. It's literally because you want to try something different. It makes you feel better doing something different than doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result.
I'm thankful we even have the chance to do it again. June, July-ish, we should be starting again.
We'll see with all this COVID stuff.
I know, that really depends.
That's the other part.
So you can answer this first. How do you both feel personally about all the love and support you guys have received?
Well, obviously we love it. It's
amazing.
We wouldn't have been able to get where we are today, or even be able to do this video or talk about it so freely without the love and support. I always thought we'd get more negative in the beginning, especially in my culture and in Indian culture. You don't talk about this stuff. This is something you don't talk about. It's a secret that you're supposed to deal with, and
you need to keep it private,
and you magically have a baby, you know, like at the end of it, you know. Especially Kaitlin, she pushed me to do it, because I'm fighting my own culture to do it. I have, you know what, this is crazy, but I have a lot of people, like other men who are going through infertility as well, that have shared with me. My good friend Ben, he has helped me so much, and it's just so great to have somebody who is going through the same thing, and we support each other, we pray for each other, we support each other, and it's wonderful. So I'm thankful.
And it's like, if we never shared, how would you have made that connection? How would you have been able to pray for each other?
Thank you. The love and support has been amazing.
It means everything to us, really. It really does. Okay, next question. Would you guys adopt a child?
I think we would. I'm not saying it in a way like, oh my gosh, no, we won't. I'm saying it more like I'm thinking about it in my mind.
Because if we're being honest, we're not there yet. And I think a lot of people in the infertility community will say the same thing. Right. We appreciate that you are thinking that far ahead, and that adoption is an option for some people. And yes, we would adopt. We've talked about it, and we would adopt. Are we there right now? No. We're still fighting to have our own baby, and I still do think it's possible. I haven't lost hope on that yet. Not that you need to have your own child before you adopt. That's the journey that we're taking.
For me, I'm also like I have my master's in counseling psychology, so I'm a psychologist. I know all of the background of adoption and taking a child into your family and being able to incorporate them. Lots of positives, and there's also struggles, you know. And for us, after going through this, we need to kind of be prepared for that.
And on top of that, you guys have to remember, I understand adoption is a beautiful thing, but it also costs a lot of money. And insurance does not help with adoption. Like, there's no options for that. You're paying all cash up front to even get a lawyer for adoption. Like, I've looked into the options, and it's not that that's an easier road. Oh, you can't have babies? Adopt. It's not like that's an easier road to take.
It might be even more than IVF.
I think it is.
From the stuff that we've looked up, it costs more. So that's something a lot of people need to know. Adoption is not as easy as you think. A lot of
stuff.
It's
not the easy way out.
Yes.
To answer your question, we would adopt, but that's just not where our minds are at right now. Next question. How have you both managed to comfort each other when I'm sure you're both hurting so badly inside?
I don't know if we do a good job of it, but I mean, we do. I mean, like I said,
think we do.
Yeah, comfort is, I want Kaitlin to move forward. You know, it sounds terrible to say it like that, but it's
not, though.
Look to the next step. Look to the next.
Because we have next steps, and we have options.
Saying over and over again to her, at least we should be thankful for the journey. There's so many people who don't even get to do this, who don't even
have this
get
option
to do IVF, and we've been able to do it 2 times. You have to find the positive, find the things to be thankful for, and that gives you comfort in the times that you need it. It's a down spiral, you know. You will never stop thinking of the negative. Dwell on the positive, and that gives us comfort. And then also the second part is giving Kaitlin her space. You can't just force things on people. You should be fine. This should be, you know, sometimes, and she takes it that way when I say it, like she's like, I feel like it's a little too much right now. So I back off, and I'm saying, I'm not trying to tell you that you have to be like this. I'm just saying these are the things to look forward to. And then I pause and I give her space. She, you know, everybody
needs their time to get there.
Exactly.
You know, it's not that just like your IVF cycle failed, cool, now let's move on to the next thing. It's not immediate.
Even if I wasn't pushing it, but I talked about it, right? Okay, well, at least we have the next round. It was too soon to mention that. I could tell it was not at the right time to say it to Kaitlin. It bothered her, and then So we have to, I just like dropped it. I'm sorry for bringing it up right now. I'm not angry at her. The point is I need to be aware of her feelings, and if that's not the time, just wait for it. But the whole point is to not hold any resentment against each other, because that's
in those moments, especially.
Yeah, that's the times that you need each other. That's when you need to really be a unit, whether you're getting the reciprocation or not.
All right. What made you decide to share your journey on social media? So I guess that's more a question for me. So I had recorded a video, and it was really just for myself. I guess I was speaking to other people, but it was allowing me to get out my feelings and my emotions. And this is before we really had told anybody. And so I recorded that. And did you find it on my laptop or something?
I found it, which is so weird.
So weird.
I just saw it, I think, I don't even know, I think that's a God thing, but I saw it and then I opened it and then I watched it, and man, it hit me so hard to listen to Kate, but it was the way she said it, it was so real. I work in media and stuff, so for me, it's getting a message across that's positive and inspiring. That's what matters, is how you're helping people, not just blowing your own self up, patting yourself on the back. Share something that's gonna help people. That's the key, is to build a community so you don't feel like you're doing this alone. When I watched your video, I loved it, I felt it, I didn't feel alone, and I was like, wow, and she's my wife and I know her and I felt this way. I can't imagine somebody who must be going through it. I think it would be so impactful. So I went and told her, babe, I think you should share this. I'm so glad everybody knows.
Me too. It was such a huge weight off of our shoulders. The amount of messages that I got from people I know, like personally have like hung out with or I grew up with, messaging me saying, oh my gosh, Kaitlin, like I'm going through the same thing. You have given me so much hope. People don't get it unless they're going through it. So it was a really beautiful thing in that way, but it was also just very relieving for both of us.
But that's okay, because if you just relax, you'll be fine.
We'll get there. I think there's a question about that.
Just relax.
Oh yeah, well this is the next one. What's the worst advice you've ever received during infertility?
I don't even know what the questions are. So that's
probably number one, and I think a lot of people across the board will say the same thing.
Non-stop.
Just relax. Just
her
take it
tubes
easy.
are blocked.
I know. Like, what is that going to do?
Relaxing does not unblock your tubes.
Or endometriosis. It does nothing for that.
Endometriosis, blocked tubes, low sperm motility. Yeah. I can't relax, and then that changes that. God bless you guys for whoever says that. I know there's good intentions, but it sucks to hear it every time. I'm not gonna lie. We're putting videos like this. Caitlin's sharing her whole life to educate. It is an education process. Why? Because you don't know who's going through this. You don't know the words that you say, how it affects that person inside.
Yes, just relax or have fun.
Have fun. Yeah, I was like, wow. I feel like I've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm like,
and her tubes are still blocked.
Are you planning to get your embryos genetically tested? We have not the last 2 rounds. I think like your first round of IVF, they don't usually recommend it unless you're at a certain age or having certain issues or whatever. Or they like for sure know your AMH levels are low. We also didn't plan on doing it because we didn't get any embryos the first time. We weren't even sure what was going to happen the second time, so no.
And we still didn't have embryos the second time.
And we still didn't have embryos the second time. So now the third time, I'm going to have to ask our doctor what she thinks.
I don't think so.
But I don't think so.
Because we go over the stats all the time. And they can kind of see precursors to genetic problems. But
it tells you like if your embryos are abnormal or not.
Right, but the chances of your embryos being abnormal usually comes from you.
No, you don't really know, because sometimes the chromosomes and whatever. The point is we haven't really fully discussed this. So right now, no, we're not planning on doing it unless our doctor tells us, okay, it's going to be necessary because whatever embryos we do get didn't implant for whatever reason.
Share the price of that, please.
I think at our clinic, it's like $3,400.
$3,400 out of your pocket.
Yeah. Is surrogacy an option for you guys? I've had some people ask me this. And no, for one good reason, right? Surrogacy works for people who cannot carry a child or who struggle to carry, like let's say they get pregnant and they can't carry the baby to full term, or if that's like a reoccurring problem. So for us, our problem is we can't even get to the embryo stage.
So we don't even know.
We don't even know if I can carry.
Yes.
My doctor thinks I can. She said my uterus and everything looks great to carry a baby, but we can't even get to that point. I think our other option would be like if we had to get an egg donor or like an embryo donor or something, but it wouldn't be surrogacy.
But to say no is we don't know now.
No, right now at least. That is not an option for us right now.
But we're not opposed to it if
if it came down the line and I can't carry and I want to have a baby that's my own, yes, we'll look into surrogacy. But right now that's not an option for us because we haven't even gotten to that point. Oh, okay. Would you consider an egg or sperm donor? So we had a conversation about this recently, and I struggle with, me personally.
I do too, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle because I think, like he said, we're taking it step by step. I'm at the step now where it's a possibility my eggs may not be so great. We don't know for sure, but right now I'm just now starting to accept the fact that maybe we might need an egg donor. Maybe. But I have to consider it an option because if I want to carry a child. We're
not totally opposed to it, but I think we'll only know when the time comes. If we're like, nope, we're gonna have, as long as you carry, that's all that matters. That's good. That's an option, but I don't think we're there yet to say that.
Okay, do you want a girl or a boy first?
Yeah, we'd love a girl. I think we both have the... Everybody always says, you must want a boy so it looks just like you and you can dress him up just like you. And I'm like,
although I would love that.
Actually, I want a girl.
Yeah, surprisingly he wants a girl first.
I've always wanted a girl first.
So I think we both want a girl, but like at this point in our journey. I really don't care.
We'll take any
really don't care.
Any embryo.
Yeah, any embryo that wants to come our way, we're good.
That wants to stick.
Yeah, we're perfectly
cool
fine.
With it.
I would love to have a little boy that looks just like him and to dress like him. I would love it. And obviously we love a little girl. Okay, so we already answered, do you get any insurance coverage for IVF? Sending you love, thank you. So yes, we do get insurance. So if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to DM me. So we're done with the questions. Any last minute thoughts you would like to share?
I hope this video helps you guys. I hope us sharing does something for you in your life. You have a moment where you feel less alone. Please know you're not alone. In both of us, you have
a friend.
Yep. I don't know how many guys watch. I would assume it's more ladies that have a husband. Please tell your husbands to reach out or partners to reach out to me if they ever need any help with guy stuff or going through it.
I'm happy to talk to.
Yeah, because it's not like we just share so much. It's more so you have somebody that's there for you. And I'm very active in all of this stuff. I'm just not on the forefront. So
he's not on the forefront of social media.
Social media, yes. Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
So we just want to thank you guys, obviously, for all the love and support and prayers, and we want to be able to reciprocate that, of course. If you guys need just any kind of uplifting or encouragement, or you want us to pray for you, or you just want to follow along on our journey, whatever would be most helpful to you, we just want to bring hope and love and positivity to this journey because it's so filled with hopelessness and sadness and depression. You should never feel alone in that. I would never want anyone to feel how I felt when I was going through my first round of IVF. I had no idea this community on YouTube and Instagram even existed. So I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I really do appreciate you guys a lot.
And remember, through all of this, you are loved, you are valued, and you're not alone.
And you're worthy. You're so worthy of being parents.
Yes. None of this makes you less than. Always remember that. We have all been dealt a certain deck of cards for whatever reason. The journey is not for no reason. There is so much you learn from it. There's so much positive to take from it, even in the darkest times of it. So just remember to find those glimpses of hope and light and be able to hold on to them.
Absolutely. You know? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Please leave your comments down below. You can follow us on Instagram as well. I'll put our handles down below. Yeah, we love you guys, and thanks again for joining us on this journey.
Thank you so much.
Bye.